Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. If you find yourself wanting a lightweight ball mount to take in and out of the hitch really frequently, then this series of CURT AlumaLite aluminum ball mounts could be a really good option for you and a wide variety of different trailers. Let's check them out. You're going to get 4 different options with the AlumaLite series. We've got 3 of them here today that are all the same aside from the drop height. So the one in the hitch right now gives us a maximum drop of 3.5 inches. The next size up is going to be a maximum drop of 5.5 inches. And then here, the largest that we've got is a maximum drop of 7.5. CURT does make a version that will give you a 9.5 inch drop, but the weight capacity does drop a little bit on that model. If you have a truck and trailer combination that needs that big of a drop, be sure to check out our review video for that specific one. Weight capacity, finish, all those sorts of things are going to be the same. It's just a matter of picking the right drop height for your truck and trailer combination. And because they're all adjustable, they can switch and adapt to different truck and trailer combinations. So if you find yourself towing multiple trailers with different ride heights, you can adjust these to fit your needs. Moving in 1-inch increments, they're going to give you a lot of different options to get that height dialed in perfectly. Now here's a closer look at the pin and clip that control your height adjustment. Just pull those 2 out, and you can slide the ball up and down the shank here to dial it into whatever height you need, or to flip it around to the other ball size. So it's going to have a 2 5/16 inch ball and a 2-inch ball. The weight capacities will change depending on which one you use though, so you want to be mindful of that. For our 2-inch ball that I have up top right now, you're going to get an 8,000 pound gross trailer weight rating. That's how much weight it's rated to pull. And it'll give you an 800 pound max tongue weight rating. That's how much weight you can have downward on the end of the ball mount here. For the 2 5/16 inch ball, that does jump up to a 12,500 pound gross trailer weight rating and a 1,250 pound max tongue weight rating. Keep in mind that's what the ball mount is rated for, not necessarily your hitch or your vehicle. So you always want to go and check those components in your owner's manual and go by the lowest rated one in your whole towing setup. Pretty much everything you see is going to be made out of billet aluminum, aside from those hitch balls being steel. They do have a chrome plating on them, which will help protect against rust and corrosion. I just advise that when you are hooked up, grease the ball and the inside of your trailer coupler to help make sure that chrome finish lasts longer, because direct metal on metal contact without any of that lubrication will cause a lot of friction and damage to occur. But with the main body being that aluminum, we're going to be shaving off a ton of weight. So even in this largest size we have here, it's extremely comfortable to handle with one hand. Get a second hand involved and it's even easier to move. So taking it in and out of the hitch frequently is going to be just fine. And I'd strongly recommend considering this if you find yourself removing the ball mount after each time you use it and not leaving it there for the next time, because the more you handle it, the more you want it to be easy to handle. Not to mention, if you're not towing super heavy trailers and you don't need this extreme weight capacity that you see on a lot of steel ball mounts, then why get something that's rated extremely high if you're never going to use the full capability of it? Don't get me wrong, these are still very capable ball mounts with their weight capacity, but if you're not pushing any heavier than like 10K, then why get something that's rated for 15, 16 plus? The other thing I think is really helpful here is because aluminum is just so corrosion resistant, if you find yourself towing something like a boat trailer where you're in and around water, backing up the trailer, things like that, then this just is a no-brainer to me. You're gonna get much better corrosion resistance than any sort of black powder coated steel, because with any of those other ball mounts, as the powder coat flakes away over time, that steel underneath will rust. It's just gonna happen. We see it on even the nicest ball mounts as time wears on and the paint starts to flake away. That metal underneath just will be susceptible to rust and corrosion. So going with an aluminum option is gonna give you the best protection. Now taking a closer look at the hitch, we can see it's fitting inside of our 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube, and it does come included with its own hitch pin and clip, which is really nice because a lot of ball mounts don't include that out of the box. So if you don't have one of your own, then you don't have to worry about picking it up separately. And something to know when hooking it up in the hitch is that you do get 2 hitch pin holes to choose from. You can see those right here on this other ball mount, and they're going to be spaced 1 1/4 inches apart. The reason you might choose one over the other is to just give yourself a bit of additional clearance from your bumper. Say your trailer coupler is just sitting a bit too close for your liking and you want to give it a little bit more space to breathe, you can move it to this outer hitch pin hole, or you might choose that to give yourself a little bit more of the shank exposed. Say if you wanted to add something like our etrailer hitch pin alignment collar to make it easier to set up in the hitch and align the hitch pin hole, or you wanted to add something like a collar style anti-rattle device to clamp around the shank. And from the center of that innermost hitch pin hole to the center of the ball where our trailer will actually be hooking up is going to be 8 inches. So that's pretty good clearance from the vehicle. It does sit a little bit closer than some other ball mounts out there, but like I mentioned before, you've got that second hitch pin hole to choose from, so if you want that extra 1 1/4 of clearance, then you can certainly choose to use that when you're hooking up. Overall though, I'm a big fan of these CURT AlumaLite ball mounts. I think they offer a ton of value, you get a nice wide range of adjustment, and they're extremely capable for being mostly aluminum construction. The one comparison I would make is to a Fastway aluminum ball mount. They make a ton of different versions, but the one I'd probably compare this to is one that has an integrated hitch pin, which is pretty unique, and it does come with locks to lock the ball to the platform and to lock the whole ball mount into the hitch. I think if you're towing a boat trailer and you tend to leave the ball mount in your hitch full time or close to full time, that'd be an excellent option to go with because of that integrated lock. But if you're removing this between uses, I don't think the lock is necessary because if anything, it's just going to add a little bit of time to the setup where the standard hitch pin and clip is going to do just fine. Not to mention you could add a lock to this if you wanted. It'd just be an upgrade you could maybe make down the road and add on separately. The things I like about the CURT over that Fastway option is that I think it just looks better and it is going to have a higher weight capacity. So if you need kind of a good option between a nice lightweight ball mount that can still handle a good weight capacity without jumping into a steel ball mount, then I think this is probably the way to go. But that'll do it for our look at this line of CURT AlumaLite dual adjustable ball mounts. If you decide these are the right option for you, leave a review and show us your towing setup. But that'll do it for me. My name's Aiden, and thank you for watching.